Hey everyone, this is Eric with Nutrition by Eric. I hope you're doing well out there wherever you are. I wanted to make this quick video on three basic ideas, three concepts for how to de-stress. Now, stress is a tough thing. I've grown up with it. We've all probably experienced it. Now, depending on when you watch this, now end of 2020, yeah, it's been a pretty stressful several months, more than half a year. So I'll share some things that help me, and hopefully you'll share some things that help you. But no matter what goes on in the body in your life, my family I think had a high stress level. I have one set of grandparents who grew up in New York, and another set in the Middle East. My dad's from Israel, so it's pretty stressful out there. It could be a pretty stressful place. So, normally, told me about these. I mean, they were out there, but no one ever said, "Hey, man, you got to just de-stress." But you get enough hints in life, and you got to kind of do a little soul searching. You got to chill, find the way to chill, the ongoing chill pill, the ongoing chill factor. So, three things that help me a lot are, and I'll just get right into it. And first one is breath, the breath work. It's a very powerful. So many things in life are center here. Let me move a little. There we go. Are powerful yet elusive. So number one is the breath. So the breath is what I learned recently. You get the 3 minutes without breath. We need that more than water and food. Number one, we take it for granted, and especially if you're wearing a mask, you're affected probably. So breath is very important, and that seems to be an impediment for a lot of people, unfortunately. So when you can be aware of it and work with the breath, one way is just sit and count. There's plenty of studies, and there's no exact number which is the best, but sometimes four is a common number. Say 4 in your head, just got the 4 and then 4 out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have in and out, and you have the space in between the in and the out. And sometimes people call that a box or a rectangle breathing. I've heard of box breathing, but it could be rectangle. So let's say 4 in, 2 hold, out 4, 2 hold again. So something like this. Hold, hold, and so on. So you can work with, there's 4 all the way around, 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. Navy SEALs I heard use that. There's all kinds of variations you can have. Dr. Andrew Weil, I remember it was like 4, 3, and 7. In for 4, hold for 3, exhale for 7. Wim Hof is more about inhaling more than you exhale, so you have like more oxygen after some time. So there's all kinds of variations. I won't say which is right or wrong or better or worse, but it is kind of interesting to try because it's really neat things that are right in front of us that we use all the time, mostly unconscious, unaware, subconscious, that we can be aware of, that we can tap into, and we can kind of really create a power from. There's some real powerful things I haven't explored yet, and that is, what's it called? There's it's breath work, dynamic breath work, or holographic breath work. I'll link to as many things as I can remember in the description. Even some things I have on my list of things to do, to learn, and I love reading about this. If I consider reading a book about like nutrition and digestion and microbiome and how the teeth work, and I'm just like, wow, I love it. But breath is on my list. I haven't, to be honest. So breath work, that's number one. And a variation in incorporation of that would be meditation. So that's sitting with your eyes closed and being aware of your breath and watch how it changes. If you're stressed, you'll notice that would be a stressful, shallow breathing. And there's tons of physiological things that happen in the body. Physiological meaning blood moving to certain areas, blood moving away from certain areas. You've probably heard the terms fight or flight, parasympathetic, sympathetic, rest and digest, fight, flight, or freeze, or some other colorful variations of that. So it's all about breath. So that is one huge, very powerful aspect to normalize or keep your cool. And unaware to many people, it changes when you're stressed. So first tip, all about the breath and the variations thereof with meditation and eyes open, eyes closed, whether to hold it, whether there's alternate nostril breathing you can look up in yoga. So there's tons of cool stuff, Think about it, you get an air in two ways, but three sources, two nostrils in the mouth. So I can go on and on, but I wanted to keep it short. Let me see. Time check. All right. All right. Longer than I wanted, but I'll try to quickly but calmly get to the next few. Next one is exercise, movement. If you don't think of it, when you're stressed, sometimes the simplest things don't come to mind. And sometimes things are elusive anyway. Sometimes, you don't realize, I should probably move. How many of you have noticed if you're moving, or if you're stressed, you go for a walk, or you're go for a run, you go to the gym, you do some yoga, whatever your jam is, qigong or whatever, you'll feel better. I know I have. So sometimes as simple as walking. So movement, we should say. If you don't like the word exercise, some people I do know don't like that word, or they don't like the activity. They're like, gym and people and judgmental. So as simple as walking. I walk a lot. It's simple, it's reliable, even if I'm tired or I don't feel like a high energy thing, because the movement spectrum could be a high energy thing. Like, I don't know if aerobics is still even a term, every so often there's a new term, and there's a new concept, and there's new, whether it's a HIIT, HIIT, or there's CrossFit, things with equipment, without equipment, like calisthenics, body weight, things you can do at a park, like pull-ups, or, without any equipment, or minimal equipment. There's tons of stuff, and it can be really fun. It's fun because you whether you were in PE class, physical education class, or you just play when you were a kid. Hopefully all of us got a chance to play, just run around, whether you're playing cops and robbers, or the fake gun, or you're just playing hide and seek, or tag, or dodgeball, or some organized sport or whatever. It was fun, right? If you can remember riding your bike or a skateboard, or if you're doing that now, it's fun. So movement can be fun. So if you're a little older, if you're in the your mid 30s, 40s, 50s and up, you might think, I don't like the connotation of that, because you're not thinking of fun. So try to think to make it fun. What can you do that's fun? One option. Second option, what can you do that's kind of easy? And like I said, walking is the easiest. Even if you pace, if you don't have a lot of space, or you're in quarantine, or you're locked down, or you're in a neighborhood and you're not near nature. Like, I like to walk in a park. I'm grateful where I am, kind of in the middle of the U.S. I can walk to a park pretty quick, and it's a big park. And my criteria is, when I'm in nature, I like to see 360 nature. I don't like to see or hear cars or hardly anything man-made. I want it to be pretty much pristine, raw nature, like God's country or whatever. I like that the most. And luckily, the park, is mostly like that. I hear some noise from the cars because there is a street nearby. But if you get that, that's good. And there's a lot of benefits too. Kind of an add-on that you're getting a lot of nutrients. I mentioned in another video. You get oxygen from the trees, and you get small amounts, micronutrients of like calcium, and there's a few things floating around that are kind of trace minerals in the air. So getting out, and that ties in with number one, more oxygen. If you're moving and you're breathing more oxygen, it's a wonderful molecule. It's a wonderful, we can even call it a nutrient. Not really one you're going to eat, but when you can breathe. We have nutrients that you can breathe, and you get vitamin D if you're out in nature from the sun. So it's great on so many levels. If you want a little an added bonus, or let's say a pro tip, take off your shoes and socks and walk barefoot for a while. There's a lot of benefits on grounding. So each tip I have spins off to other things. Grounding is a wonderful thing. The electromagnetic buildup gets discharged when you're barefoot. There's a wonderful documentary, the Earthing movie, the Grounding movie. It's a great documentary. So that's the second one. Do some kind of movement. You can stay home and watch a video if you want. There's yoga videos. There's anything movement you can do with your mobile device. You can go to a park and do a cross, not CrossFit maybe, but a body weight exercise video, or you could be at home, or if you have a basement or spare room, or wherever you have space in your living room, you can set up a little mat or use your carpet, and you can do like a yoga. I like to just challenge myself. I'd see like, what would be kind of fun to do. Sometimes I don't have space. So I don't want to take my phone or a tablet somewhere, and I want to see what kind of movement related things out there. And I happen to like Qigong a lot. Qigong is really neat. I'm still learning it, but it's kind of cool. Looks kind of like flowy, and a lot of great health benefits. Some really neat health benefits. Some things kind of like jaw-droppingly good things, like people have healed from all kinds of conditions, including cancer and tumors and mystery illnesses and allergies from doing certain movements. As an aside, I finished reading a book recently, and they were talking about, if the more you dig down and more you look at us and our atoms and stuff, the more space you see. As odd as that may sound, like the more you start drilling down visually, you'll see that there's like 99.999% space, which is kind of hard to imagine, but life is mysterious. Life is amazing and mysterious all at once, and it's just like, I love that. I love that at my age I can have like jaw-dropping information where I'm like, wow, I have no idea. There's a saying I never really liked it until recently. I don't know her name, but she says, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. That was the dumbest thing ever. But I'm like, I kind of see where she's going with that. Like, life can be really cool. And, everything is a spectrum. It can be, there's days that can be boring, and you may not feel like, boring. I had many other people used to say, but it's really amazing. But you got to look for it, and you have to have that state of mind. All right, but I digress. Movement is tip number 2. Get out there and move and see what works for you. You may like something. You may like going out and learn sword fighting. I have a friend in Mexico. He sent me a picture today. He's learning how to fence, and he looked really cool. Sent me a photo with his sword and everything, and I thought that was amazing. I just watched a documentary on like martial arts. I love learning about that. That is amazing. Like the hidden stuff, and it's like lost arts of China or Tibet or Hong Kong. That's really cool. And so find your jam, find what lights you up, and if you don't know, experiment. Brian Tracy was a great, hopefully still around. Brian Tracy, a motivational speaker, rags to riches guy, dug ditches, became millionaire. And he often said, when you have a thought, you want to figure out how to do something, write a list of like top 20 and just write things down. Getting a note from my phone. Okay, power's low. All right, I gotta wrap this up. Okay, so make a list, think of things you might want to do, and try them. Get out there and try and push yourself a little bit. It's important to challenge yourself, push yourself. Tip number 3 would be journaling, some kind of expression on either paper or digital notes. I used to write journal. And then it's funny, before I knew it, I'd have, you could buy a spiral notebook, the cheapest whatever, or a fancy one from like pharmacies or Target or wherever you get it. It'd be about so big, which is like a third of an inch, like a centimeter if you're on the metric system. And I'd fill it up, and I'm just like, what the heck did I write? But I felt better, There's a lot of information on journaling, just getting things out of your head onto paper. Now I like to do it digitally. I just don't want to have notebooks everywhere. And I had allergies to just the weirdest things, like paper. Yeah, it sucked. So express yourself. Write things down, Sometimes the expression, the idea is if you're stressed is to change that state. And those are three different ways, Again, to recap, work on your breath. The breath work is very powerful, way more than I even know. Holographic breath work, whatever, is supposed to be amazing, really amazing. Extend your inhale, extend your exhale, get more oxygen in. Number two is movement, simple movement. You can you can do Tai Chi, Qi Gong. You can do yoga. There's probably many other varieties. You could do it solo, on your own, at home, just walking down the street, in a park, at the gym. You can work out at the gym. You could do it with others. You have a running buddy. You go for a run. You want to learn. There's even martial arts and things you can learn like through videos. You can figure out, hey, okay, what was that move? I've seen these two guys in Atlanta. They were learning jujitsu. Gracie's like supposedly the best version, the best school, and they were learning jujitsu through like a video course. I thought it was so cool. So no matter where you go, there are tons of things you can do. There is no lack. So excuses, sorry. There's no possible way that I can think if you can have an excuse. If you're immobilized, you're paralyzed, you're strapped to a chair. All right, well then, work on your eye movements. I'll have videos on that soon. Work on moving your neck. Work your way down. There's yoga nidra, where body scan. Work your way. Try and wiggle your ears. Try to raise one eyebrow, but try to raise the other eyebrow. That's tricky. Did you know that? You can do one but not the other. All right, so that's it. There is no lack. Let me know in the comment below, what do you like to do for your de-stress? What of the three is your favorite? What do you do for breathing, for movement, or for or expression? There's plenty more. I'll give you a bonus tip for maybe you want to sing or take a class or learn how to cook. You'll get involved. Immerse yourself in something else. That's a good way to do it. Stay positive, be hopeful, encourage yourself, encourage others. This is how it works. We're all in this together. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment if you haven't already. And until next time, take care. See you guys.